This episode, it's our last day on the Deua. But what we're going to do, we're also going to do a little review video of this current model 79. I've had it nearly a year to date and we've put 20,000 Ks on it. So here we are, we're packing the bikes on. First light tomorrow, after brekkie, we depart. We'll get some air here in the bags. We go up to around the 16 PSI just to help with the weight, but the tyres stay down at 18 PSI. Our final day of the week. Have a look at it, it's a perler as well. Got the fire going for the last Breville. Then we'll get this Jayco out of here. Take care of yourself, we'll catch up with you next time. Phil's staying another night, but he's taken the bike up to the house. That was quite slushy, wasn't it? Brand new thongs. Woohoo! Had a bit of rain since we came in, but I don't think that's gotten much deeper. I've had it nearly a year to date and we've put 20,000 Ks on it. So what I've got to compare is I've got to compare the old grey truck and the lower gearing to the DPF model with the higher, taller gears. Now on a trip like this, we had river crossings, we had steep hill climbs, both up and down, and the gearing on this particular model, the 2022 model, it worked awesome for touring. It was slow enough for us to keep control of the van going uphill and also around corners. We were able to keep it slow through the river crossings, but the only downside to it, I felt when we were touring around without the van on the back, it's just not low enough for really hard rock crawling. Myself and Shell, we both got used to the hill assist when we were stopping on the steep inclines. It worked a treat. What I'm also going to talk about is this TJM suspension. Now this was done pre-rego. It's the 3950 GVM upgrade. We're running a 600 kilo rear spring and a 3-inch front coil. So this suspension, together with the airbags in the rear, I found it really good. So what's good and what's not good? So a 600 kilo spring across the range of all the manufacturers, it's going to do the same job. Oh, the water's so nice. Now where I found in the past with suspension is they become noisy when the weather changes. So if you go on a trip where you've got a lot of mud and water and then you come home and it's hot, you do get the bushes squeaking, both the spring bushes and the front arm bushes. Now the TJM bushes, they've been still very quiet. The only thing we've changed is the front shocks. So Cal from Cal Offroad, he sent up some longer travel shocks for us. The 3-inch coil that TJM put on, I'm pretty sure they only put on a 2-inch shock. So my down travel was a little limited. Driver's side hard here to keep the van out of this debris. They're nice. So Cal sent up the Bilsteins and I'm really happy with them. Bit more. Nice. Beautiful. Okay, steer down, steer down. Well done. Coming down to the second. We run the Poly Air Dominator airbag in the rear. Now that helps with the weight. So the 600 kilo rear springs are very comfortable. The only downside to them is when we put bullet truck on and we load up the tray full of spares, they do become a little soft, and that's where the airbag, we just top the airbags enough to help with the load carrying. So with the GVM of 3950 and the 79 itself, weighing around the 2850, 2900, it's nearly a ton of payload. It's plenty. You get your 4 passengers in there, you get the ball weight off your trailer, and you've still got plenty of room to fill up that toolbox on the tray and the surrounding areas in the tray. Do you want to just miss that tree? Keep coming. How's that hill assist? They steer away a little bit. Yeah, that's it, good. This way. First gear.
Nice. You're right, just a little bit more.
I highly recommend the airbags if you're going to be doing a lot of towing, and if you've got a steel tray and you're carrying a lot of weight in your tray. The 600 kilos are just not enough, in my opinion.
It's funny with the aircon on, sometimes even in first gear when you want it to be crawling, it just runs away that little bit as the revs pick up. What a gorgeous river this Deua is.
Another thing we've given a good test over the year, and I didn't think I'd end up saying this, to be honest, is this heavy duty factory aluminium tray from Toyota. It has surprised me. Now on this trip and a couple of other trips, I have put 3 bikes on the back. Now strapping the handlebars down to the bottom of that headboard, there's no play. I've done it on other trucks where the whole headboard starts to pull towards the bike. So it's a very good quality sturdy tray. Floor is very sturdy, but for mine to date, that aluminium tray, that heavy duty aluminium factory Toyota tray has really surprised me.
Not a problem. It's my bus stop.
The first thing that comes to my mind when I remember the 2 models is the brakes on this current model is just outstanding. Now with the grey truck, we did a brake upgrade. I did the J-Max booster, braided lines. When the DPF model came out, they changed the caliper. Now whatever change was made, the brakes on this thing a year later are outstanding. The handbrake, however, is another story. It's as bad as it was back in 1983 in the HJ75s. Just a sniff of water or mud and you're in there adjusting it. I've been very lucky with this model. It has not used a drop of oil since day one, and we're just over 20,000 Ks now.
That's on a big angle, that caravan. But she's got to miss that little iceberg there.
It's had the catch can on it from day one, and now the gearing in the gearbox is a lot taller. So we do run out of puff on the 35s. Now that's with no work done to the motor. But the chatter in the gearbox, in the lower gears now, it's very, very minimal. You can barely hear it. On the old grey truck, it was noisy. Still question marks about the clutch. The throw-out bearing's been noisy since day one. You just put up with it. We'll be putting a new clutch in eventually.
Okay, now turn. Yeah, perfect.
The bar work on this truck, now it probably isn't something I would have chosen to buy. We were flipping this truck and then I decided I'm going to keep it, but it's growing on me. Having modified that factory Toyota bar and gotten rid of the bump stops at the front, having the winch insert and the brush bars to help with the winching. So after a week of this, all the towing down and the towing up, we come out of it with an average of 20 litres per 100. It was a little bit better than that on our first fuel stop. The last fuel stop on the way home, we were around the 20 litres per 100. And as always, thanks for watching.